Good evening, one and all. We welcome you to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2022, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 75 years of independence, and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030. As part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute and Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing. We welcome you all to the international webinar series. Before we start our session, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue to today's session. Today we have with us Dr. Vidya Hari Iyer. She is founder and director, psychotherapist, counselor, Dr. Vidya Smile Dental Clinic, Tamil Nadu. And she is also multi-talented personality, a dentist, classical singer and dancer, entrepreneur, and also she has won various awards and presented in various forums, webinars. We welcome you, ma'am, once again to the international webinar series, and over to you for your session, Happiness, the Way of Life. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Ravindran sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
So good evening, friends, and welcome to another amazing session. I'm sure all of us, whenever we look at life, we all want to be happy, right? But sometimes there is so many things which happens in our lives, maybe some situations that we don't feel happy, or we don't get that enough, the feel inside your mind or your body that, you want to be happy, you want to smile, you want to dress up well. It could mean anything, right? So, and sometimes we find reasons to not be happy. Rather, we need to shift that paradigm, right? That paradigm shift and become or choose situations, choose happiness every day. Like the way we choose our clothes, we need to choose happiness. We need to choose our smile, right? As we dress up, we need to put on our smile, a good attitude as we walk towards our life. And today's session is just going to help you to do exactly that. Now, before I go into this session, let's have a little bit of interaction so that, probably you can use the chat box, or even you can unmute and talk if you can. And let me know, all of us know that we have only one life to live, right? So let me know what are the ways you choose to make yourself happy. So you can use your chat box, and you can direct it either to me directly, or you can put it to everybody. This is just to help us understand what do we do to make ourselves happy before I even start the session today. So can it be a little interactive, friends? you've started typing, then the question for you is, what are the ways you choose to be happy on a daily basis? It could mean either, as you get up or through a tough day, or you just smile, whatever it is, you can write. So as you write, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start sharing my screen and take you to the presentation. Okay. Are you able to see the screen, sir?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Perfect. So once again, thank you so much, Ravindran sir and Mary, for giving me this wonderful opportunity. Thank you to Shri Holistic Health Foundation India and Shri Research Institute and Center for Arts, Science and Wellbeing. And as I told you, today's topic is something which all of us can definitely identify ourselves with, right? So what is happiness? Happiness is a state of emotional well-being that a person experiences. And when you think about, it could mean because they are some specific event or some thing which is making them happy, or in an overall sense of a well-being that they are happy. So, when you look at life, I'm sure you will be thinking there are days when you are happy, right? So think about the day when it's your birthday coming up, or an anniversary coming up, or some recognition that you have got and that makes you happy, and some friend complimented you, and that's why you are very happy today, or everything was going right for you that particular day, and then you are happy, you put on a big smile. So, whenever even we put smileys as we WhatsApp or use our social media, it's so very important that, we are energy givers, or we really are people who are brimming ourselves with energy, right? So happiness is truly a feeling that you are enjoying life and you want to make the best out of your life, right? And is it only pertaining to you? No, it's a cycle. So when you are happy, it causes a ripple effect and you make people around you happy. And because they are happy, they would, pass on that happiness. So it actually starts with one person, and that person can be you and me, right? So happiness is the secret sauce. When we say a secret sauce, we truly understand that, it is that thing which can change, the entire scenario of a person. Now, just imagine you're walking into probably a school, and, the teacher is very happy. So the moment the teacher is happy, the children are happy. So it's like, it can really liven or brighten anybody's life. Now, even when you go to a workplace, imagine you're the person who's spreading happiness. Now, till then, probably everybody was just doing what they wanted to do, what they were working. But the moment you put on a big smile and say, hi, how are you? And, you start laughing and being happy, the entire, that it becomes an infectious thing. And it's good that way, right? And have you understood that happy people are successful too? So if you ask anyone, do you want to be successful? I'm sure everybody would be raising their hands. And, happy people are only successful. So now you can choose whether you want to be happy or you just want to be the way you are. And this is very important. And I'm just going to show a video. And as I told you, I'm waiting for each of your answers to let me know what are the things that you do to make yourself happy. And now I'm going to switch on this video, have a look, and then I'll come back.
Happy about, we were actually 18% less depressed than we are now. We have been taught that hard work equals success, which equals happiness, right? Wrong. Research proves happiness is actually a precursor to success, not the other way around. Did you know? Neuroscience proves that we are hardwired to perform at our best when we are happy. Studies show that happy, positive, optimistic people earn higher incomes, set and achieve more aggressive goals, experience less stress, remain calm in high-pressure situations, are more energetic, recover from illness faster, and live longer. Happiness is serious business. When we engage in positive, real-life relationships, our bodies release chemicals that actually help reduce anxiety and increase concentration and focus. How you feel and your attitude toward life all stem from your thoughts, actions, and where you focus your time and energy. Yet we are constantly surrounded by negativity. If we want things to change, we have to create the change. And we start by choosing positivity and happiness. Just imagine the possibilities if there were more happy and positive people in this world. A world with more peace, optimism, and compassion is possible. Like a pebble thrown into a pond, it only takes one to create the ripple of happiness. Happiness is so contagious and infectious that one positive person can spread happiness to more than 1,000 people. That means all it takes to create change on a local, regional, state, country, global scale is one person. And research shows that just by spreading happiness, you actually become happier. You can choose happiness and choose to share it. You can be the catalyst to spread it directly and indirectly. Are you that one? It starts with you, yet it's bigger than you. Happiness is bold. It is courageous, audacious, and challenging. You have the power to choose happiness and to spread it. Join the movement. Share the movement. Be the one who makes the difference. And live happy.
So I'm sure this video must have given you an understanding of, that one person who can actually create a difference in people's lives around them, right? And that can be a positive effect, right? So now just think about, is that person you in your surrounding, in your workplace, in your school, in wherever you go, in your household? Are you that positive, happy person, right?
Happy about.
So scientists have found 3 things that make people most happy. The first is pleasure. That means you're actually passionate about doing the things you love. And because you're passionate and you love it, you do it well. And because you do it well, success happens, right? So because you're passionate, you have a pleasure, you're happy doing it, it makes you achieve more. Next is engagement, feeling interested in your activities and getting connected to others. All of us know man is a social animal and none of us are by ourselves. We are interdependent on people around us. So when we do our activities better and we are interested and then we are also connected with people, it becomes a world of difference. And the meaning or the purpose, why do you do what you do, is very important. What is your purpose and how does it drive you on a daily basis to actually achieve what you want to achieve? The moment you understand all this, then you all become very happy. And this is scientifically proven. So as James Oppenheim said, a foolish man seeks happiness in the distance and the wise grows it under his feet. Obviously, we think, oh, if I get something, I'll be happy. If that happens to me, I'll be happy. If I get good marks, I will be happy. We always associate happiness to something beyond us, something away from us. Why not? You understand that happiness basically is from you. It is from you. It's within you. And that is how you radiate happiness. So it's very important for us to understand everything starts from us. We are the person who are going to bring the change. And there are 2 ways to be happy. You can either change the situation or change your mindset towards it. Many a times in life happens and all of us, have our own ups and downs. No 2 lives are the same. Each of us might have something negative to talk about what has happened in the last 1 or 2 years. But at the same time, there's so many positivity also which has happened. If not for this corona or the pandemic, I'm sure me sitting here in Chennai, I wouldn't be able to connect with all of you. Most of you are not in the same city I live right now, right? So just imagine, this corona has also brought in so many good things. It has brought a lot of opportunities online too. So we can either change the situation, and if we can't change the situation, then it is always better we change our mindset towards it. Most of the time, the second works better than the first because we don't have control over the situation, right? So, scientific evidence also suggests that when you are happy or when you smile a lot, when you are passionate, when you are achieving a lot and you're happy, these are the things which you get in return. So, when you're happy, it gives you a good sense of well-being. It gives you a good sense of health and lifestyle. It also helps you reduce your stress. It boosts your immune system and it protects your heart and reduces any form of pain. We just saw in the video that you have the happy hormones coming out. So the happy hormones are called the DOSE, D-O-S-E. D stands for dopamine, O is oxytocin, S is serotonin, and E is endorphin. So all the four happy hormones get, secreted in your body. And because of that, you actually feel a lot more lighter. And because of all this, your lifespan increases. So if you want to be healthy, you want to really enjoy and live your life, then you have to choose happiness on a daily basis. As Sydney Harris said, happiness is a direction, not a place. So you need to just keep moving forward with this happiness in your heart. Another wonderful quote, which I would like to quote here, is what Maxwell Maltz said. Many a times when we ask people, they would say, oh, let this happen and then I'll be happy. Let that happen and then I'll be happy. I'm waiting for this event. Something, they always put it externally. So this proverb really helps us. Happiness is a mental habit, which means you need to choose it. It is a habit. You need to develop it. You need to hone it. And it is not a single day. It will take time. But I'm sure when you do it, the 21-90 rule, I'm sure all of you know about that. It takes 21 days to create a habit and 90 days to make it a lifestyle, right? So happiness is a mental habit, a mental attitude. And if it is not learned and practiced in the present, it is never experienced. So don't procrastinate happiness. You need to experience it right now and today. That is the way you will be able to create it, right? It cannot be made contingent upon solving some external problem. As I told you, don't hook it or don't pair it with something external. When one problem is solved, another appears to take its place. And that is how life happens. That is why they say, right? If you want to learn swimming, don't wait for the waves to stop, right? The waves would be there, but still you need to go against and learn your swimming. Life is a series of problems. If you are to be happy at all, you must be happy, period. Not happy because of. So I'm sure this is explained very well that we need to choose happiness right now, today, and then put up a big smile and pat your back and then say, yes, I'm ready to rule the world, right? So many a times, again, we have heard people say that, you cannot be happy alone. By yourself, you cannot be happy. And that's a false statement because I told you happiness has to come from within. So let us see how you can be happy just by yourself. You can keep learning or educating yourself, something new, something different, something very interesting, something which is there in your bucket list that you need to do it right away. And this is going to, spark your day. So there's something so exciting about you. There is always that, you are in a creative mode. There is something your brain is so excited about. You become proactive. That becomes very interesting. Next is avoid comparing yourself. Now, never, ever, compare yourself with anybody for that matter. Usually the comparison starts well ahead in life, especially with your siblings, then probably in school, then in college, and then the workplace, and then the way you settle in life. Oh, that person has so much of the material wealth, and then they have achieved so much. So there's always a comparison. And believe me, friends, there's no end to comparison. So it's better to stop comparing yourself and accept yourself the way you are. Hone yourself, become a better version of yourself, and you would see that you have something to be proud of yourself. Next is to take a break from social media. I'm sure whenever there is something that you need to stop the noise around, you need to close your eyes. Just imagine if you were listening to a song, right? And you're opening your eyes and visually seeing the song, versus you close your eyes and now you listen to the same song. Whenever you close your eyes, you're actually cutting off all the distractions from the, whatever you are exposed to at that point of time. And then your mind actually goes into self-realization mode and you understand yourself better. So when you take a break from social media, what basically happens is you have more time to go within you, inside you. Self-exploration happens at that point of time. And then you understand yourself better and you have so many ideas to make yourself happy. Next is pamper yourself. Self-love is the best thing you can do for yourself. When I say self-love, it starts from speaking good things about yourself to yourself. So you should always have positive self-talk. Next is to groom yourself well. Be happy, dress up well, and then choose the way you want to live your life today. The way you want to work, go to work. You can either crib, whine and do it, or you can be happy and do it. So you can choose what you exactly want. Next is stay very, very active. Don't sit in a place for more than half an hour. The moment you are actually active physically, your mental activity also will increase. So keep on moving. At least more than 30 minutes to 40 minutes is the maximum you can sit in a place. After that, just take or 2 minutes walk. Just go around your place, walk, and then come back to your work. Now that would itself give you a lot of zing to go ahead with life. And when I say stay active, I'm not only talking about physical activity, I'm also talking about mental activity, right? Next is spend some time with nature. Whenever you think about nature, I'm sure all of us must be missing going out on our trips because of the pandemic, right? Because that is the time when a family actually takes a break and then, spend some time with themselves, goes to some nice locale and, have a lot of fun. And then when they come back, they are recharged, they are energized, and then, they get back to work. But what you can do is spend time every day with nature. You can actually go up, if you have a terrace, you can go up in the terrace and breathe in fresh air every single day. If you don't have access, then at least you can go and open a window and just sit next to the window and pull in fresh air. Air is a very important aspect where, you get the most prana or life from air. Next is water. I'm not sure how many of you have heard, if you have a water dripping in the area where you are, it will actually tranquilize you. It lowers your blood pressure. It makes you feel very calm. So water, when you think about just, a kind of a waterfall, which is available in the Curios type, right? You can just have that in your place. Or then if you have exposed yourself to the mother nature itself, whenever you see water, either a flowing river or a waterfall, I'm sure you understand that, that so much of life, so much of happiness, you will see everybody smiling when they come next to nature. Next is being amidst trees and plants. I'm not sure how many of you love gardening, but then if that is something which is in your bucket list, then, just to see life grow, see a flower bloom, see a lot of butterflies and, a lot of insects which actually sit on these flowers and enjoy them. The fruits which you get, all of that, when you see the mother nature, there is so much for you to enjoy and take in. The color green and blue As you see, it is there not only in the Mother Earth. You will see green as in the land and blue as in water. You will see this combination everywhere. So Mother Nature actually gives you a kind of a cooling effect, not only to your brain, but also to your eyes. So whenever you're tired, and if you just look at the color green and blue, you will see that you're feeling a lot more relaxed. Next is to acknowledge things that you're grateful for. Start the morning with a prayer of gratitude. Express your gratitude to God, to the universe, for giving you another opportunity to actually live today. And then you can write down what are the things you plan to do today. And you can set a timetable and work towards that. And as you cut these things, you will feel so happy about that, you've lived today much better. You can be gratitude, you can show your gratitude towards your entire body, your organs of your body, the different systems which is available in your body. So you can think about thanking your digestive system, your nervous system, your respiratory system, your reproductive system, and all the systems which you want. Can you imagine? There were so many people in the last 2 years who could not even breathe properly. They have had to go to the hospitals, and you and I have been able to breathe much better. So don't you understand that we need to be really grateful for even the very aspect of our entire body functioning to the fullest? Next is probably grateful for your work, the kind of family you have, the kind of friends you have, and the kind of money you have, the wealth you have, the financial stability you have. So there are lots of things you can be grateful for, my dear friends. It's just that we need to develop an attitude for gratitude. And a day of happiness is celebrated on the 20th of March every single year. And it says, be happy as it costs nothing. Be happy as your happiness makes others happy. So it's very important for us to actually choose this happiness every single day. But nevertheless, we also have a day to commemorate the day of happiness. Happiness is a choice. It's not a result. Nothing will make you happy until you choose to be happy, my dear friends. No person will make you happy unless you decide to be happy. Your happiness will not come to you. It can only come from you. And that's what Ralph Marston said. This is very important because happiness is from within. It needs to actually come from inside and get an external exposure to that. Next, let us see. Happiness and emotional fulfillment are actually within your grasp then, right? So let's see what all we can do to make ourselves happy and people around us happy. First thing is, if you think you are a little sad, identify the person whom you know is happy always and go next to them, be with them, understand them better, and just try to emulate them or have them as your role model. So be with others who make you smile. Studies show that we are happiest when we are around those who are also happy. So first, choose a person. In case you don't think you are happy, choose a person who's happy, who's positive, who's actually moving towards a better aspect of themselves. Hold on to your values and beliefs. This is very important because you cannot get happiness instantly if you're going to do something wrong, right? Always the guilt will be there in you. So when you hold on to your values, when you hold on to your belief systems, your values, which are positive in nature, and then when you work towards life, I think, you'll always have something to be grateful for. Next, accept the good. Have a supermarket approach, my dear friends. When I say that, see, none of us are perfect. You're not perfect, I'm not perfect. So we need to develop this kind of supermarket approach. When I say that, I mean, when you go to a supermarket, how do you exactly buy your things? You always have a list with you, and then you just pick out the things which you need. Actually, the supermarket has many other things, but you have not bought everything and come, right? Similarly, when you look at people, just pick out the good in them and just hold on to that and see how best you can make use of that to keep up a good relationship. So accept only the good and the good in every individual or every situation around you. Next, Always hope for the best. Imagine that you are going to get what you want to get. So what we can do right now is just close your eyes. And if you have a paper and a pen next to you, just close your eyes and think about top 5 things which you want to achieve and which will make you happy in 2022. Just 5 things. And once you have made a thought about that, visualize those 5 things in your mind right away, right now. So I hope you're all working out and trying to find those 5 things which will make you happy, and you're visualizing those 5 things. Now, slowly open your eyes, and if you have a paper and pen, just write them down. Just write those 5 things that is going to make you happy. And every day, just look into these 5 things and imagine that you've already got it, you've already achieved it. And that would itself make you very happy. Next is to do the things you love. And when I say to do the things you love, write down what made you happy in the past. Probably some hobbies, probably visiting people, chatting with friends, or like-minded people, sharing and caring, whatever, or probably having your favorite dish, maybe an ice cream, maybe walking out in the rain, I don't know. But then you have to write down and do those things so that you can feel happy on a daily basis. Maybe ice cream you can't have every day, but whenever you have, you're relishing it so that you are keeping that memory with you, and that just flashes whenever you think about an ice cream and that you want to have. Next, find purpose in life. Write down why have you come into this world and what difference you are going to make in this world. That's very, very important. Next, listen to your heart. Your heart will tell you so many things on a daily basis. Listen to it with vividness and then work on it. Follow your heart. That is what is going to give you success. And many a times we push others, right? But friends, we need to understand that we need to be like the duck. Have you seen the duck? A duck will be very calm externally, smiling and moving. But inside the water, you would see the feet paddling so fast, right? So you need to be very impatient with yourself, but patient with others around you. So push yourself every single day so that you can get the best out of yourself. But don't push others, because that would cause unnecessary pressure on them. And maybe it might strain the kind of relationship you have with them. Next, we're going to see some methods where you can get happy. So I've just listed few so that you can follow them, and maybe that might be something which is on your list too. First is, many of us would have heard people say, oh, I'm very tense, or, nothing is going right. I'm under pressure. I'm under stress. So the first thing you need to do is manage your stress. That can be a separate topic of discussion in reality, but nevertheless, you can probably do some kind of meditation or yoga and some breathing exercises to reduce your stress. Sort out things, plan your days better so that you are not worked up through the day. Next is, learn to enjoy yourself. Every single day, look out for those happy moments which you can create in your workplace or at your home or anywhere that way. Next is, boost your self-esteem. See what makes you happy and work out on that. Now, in case you feel that, this particular color would suit you today, wear that and make yourself happy. If you feel, buying something will make you happy, then buy that. So it is very important for us to understand what are the ways we need to boost our self-esteem. Probably learning something new or achieving something after a hard work can boost your self-esteem. Then work out on that. Next, practice a healthy lifestyle. Early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. I'm sure we have all heard about this. We know it. But how many of us follow that? That is something which we need to understand. Having a healthy lifestyle, sleeping well on time, eating well, maintaining a kind of, a system, a kind of a timetable or a rooster which you can follow is again very important. Next, have some person whom you can really share your heart. So talk as much as you can to that person. For many of us, it could be our mothers, our parents, our siblings, our good like-minded soul friends. And these need not be at the workplace itself. It can be anywhere, right? Next, experience life. Don't, keep postponing or procrastinating things. Experience life on a daily basis and enjoy every bit of it. If you love traveling, I think, you should start working out on that. Next is to do things or work out on your hobbies, which will make you feel better. Next, practice gratitude. Now, how do you practice gratitude? You can do it in 2 or 3 ways. One is to have a gratitude journal. You can buy a book and then write down what all you are actually thankful for or grateful for. You can also have a gratitude jar. In the gratitude jar, you can, write small slips in which you can write an everyday note. And whenever you're actually feeling sad, you can pick up these slips and then see and then be happy. So, are grateful for. And the third way is you can actually take a vision board or, you can write or draw or paste pictures of things that you are grateful for and see them every single day. So the more you see them, the more you'll be happy. Next is when you practice kindness. When you help others, and they say when you help, you see that your right hand does not know what your left hand did. So it is not for us to boast about what we did or to put things on social media and get wah-wah from people. It is when you lend your hand, you are doing things which is making your soul happy or you're feeling internally energetic, right? Next is to practice mindfulness or living in the present moment. Again, that is very important because sometimes there is always this brain which is thinking about the past, which is already gone, or this brain is thinking about the future, which is not in your hands. So I think, sensibility also is when you are able to think about today, right now, and then live in the moment, right? And last, surround yourself with goodness. When I say goodness, it could be good human beings around you. It could mean, being in good company and doing a lot of things which socially and personally you feel it is good, right? So a secret to a happy life is being contented. And if we live in the present, as I told you, practicing mindfulness, it is very important that we appreciate the little things we have in our life. And as we do this, we will have a happy and satisfying life. And if we feel that everything is going wrong, like Murphy's Law, right? They say when something goes wrong, everything will happen wrong at the same time, right? So if you have that kind of a perspective in life, change your perspective, my dear friends, because as I told you, it all starts from within. It has no control outside. As the World Happiness Report came out, the World Happiness Report 2022 shared an opportunity to consider how far happiness science has come and where it stands and the promising opportunities ahead. So this was the World Happiness Report. And for all of us, to understand which is the happiest country in the world, it was Finland, and Finland was crowned the happiest country in the world for the 5th consecutive year. And this score was much ahead of the others in terms of the countries. And there were about 149 countries from which the score came up. So what makes Finland the world's happiest country? Now, if you look at that, first thing is Finland has good nature and people appreciate nature. It has well-functioning public services. It has widespread trust and authority, or people have very high faith in the governance. Next, there is low levels of crime and inequality. Free, high-quality education, free healthcare, gender equality, and high degree of personal freedom, and a well-functioning society. So just imagine if you and I were living in a world like this, obviously we'll all be happy, right? That does not mean to say we all need to move to Finland, right? Next is Bhutan. Bhutan has continually been ranked the happiest country in all of Asia, and it's been the 8th happiest country in the world. And that's because of the fast-growing GDP in the world. And at the same time, all the Bhutanese people, they try to manage the spiritual or the inner best or well-being and the material happiness or the external or the tangible kind of happiness. And they are able to balance between the two. The 4 pillars of the gross national happiness in Bhutan works. 1 is a sustainable and equitable socio-economic development. 2 is the ecological sustainability. Next, preservation and promotion of a free and resilient culture. Next is good governance and equality before the law. So all this actually works well for Bhutan, right? So we can also adopt all of this and be a happy country. Now, next is where do we stand as Indians, right? So India is actually very unhappy. If you look at the scoring, as I told you, 149, the total countries where their survey is done, and India is ranked almost 136 to 139. And if you see over the years, for the last few years, if you look at it, the score is not something we can be proud of. So we have actually fallen from 117 to 140. And to now in 2022, we are at the 139th position. So if you ask, is that fine? The answer is no. So you and I can actually choose happiness, and thereby we can actually be happy. So let's look at the strategic ways to be happy. 1, practice smiling. Just put a smile on your face, and when you click a picture, when you smile, imagine the way the picture is. And once you do that throughout the day, just think about what it can do to your life too, right? Next is sleep more. When I say sleep more, it basically means to sleep at least 6 to 8 hours every night. And that's very important. The quality and the quantity of sleep is very important. Next, as I told you, practice gratitude. This is very important to have a good heart health. Next, help others. See what best you have done today to bring a smile on somebody else's face. Did you, help somebody cross the road, or did you feed somebody who was hungry? Anything for that matter. Exercise, and if you can do this at least for 30 to 40 minutes every single day, you will see the happy hormones gushing in your body. Next, meditate or rewrite your brain. What you can't achieve by an agitated mind, you can actually achieve when your mind is cool and calm. And for that, you need to internalize. You need to meditate every single day, if it's possible, for at least 15 to 20 minutes every day. You can also practice mudras, and this will give you a better way of understanding life or facing life for that matter. Next is plan a trip. And very important, have some family time, some time to let loose yourself and enjoy, right? And spend time with friends and family. Move closer to work, because sometimes commuting can be a real pain. However, nowadays with work from home, I think things are better for many. But nevertheless, when you are closer to work, it becomes a little more easier. And go outside, especially when you have the sun, so that you can get in a lot of vitamin D also. Vitamin D is associated with happiness. So more vitamin D in your body, more happy you are. So that's why they say go out in the sun, and the sun is also yellow. Happiness, if you look at the color for happiness, is also yellow. Smiles are also yellow. So you will see a lot of yellow color is associated with good mental health. So if you look at the mental health day, which is coming on 10th of October, 10/10, that's what they say. So the color is yellow for them. So happiness, all of this you will see in yellow in color. Now let's just look at this grid. Are you happy? If your answer is yes, great. Keep doing whatever you're doing and then move ahead in life. But now let's see if the option is a no, not happy. Next, do you want to be happy? If the answer is no, then fine, go ahead, do whatever you're doing. But if your answer is yes, then change something which is annoying you or upsetting you today. With that, I come to the end of my presentation. I'm just going to give you 6 takeaway points to be happy. Practice gratitude, be mindful, work on your relationships, practice self-love, say no to negativity, and keep forgiving yourself and people around you. This is the ways that you can practice and be happy about. So thank you, my dear friends, for a patient listening. Now I'm open for questions.
Thank you, ma'am. It was a really wonderful session.
Thank you so much.
Participants, if you have any queries, we can quickly take up. You can unmute yourself, or you can share your comments, observations, or any queries in chat box.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi, Mary.
Hi, ma'am. It was very wonderful session, and it's a lot of different because in happiness, so much is there we don't know. So it's just a feeling, na. But so much is there in this. I came to know because all we are seeing mental health, all the social work topics, but in these feelings also so much is there. Only I came to know. It's like more for me learning than questioning. So you always do excellent job. Today also you've done excellent job. So all the best.
Thank you so much, Mary. Thank you so much. It's just a step which I took so that, all of us can make India one of the happiest countries in the world, right? As I always said, it all starts with ourselves. We need to practice happiness. Once we are happy as an individual, we can make the people around us happy at home and at workplace. And this happiness we can just keep spreading.
And one thing I learned what is happiness is we should be content what we have. What we don't have, if we go and think no, till we die, the life is miserable. Even to drink water unlimitedly, that is only a blessing because I have a very serious heart patient next to me, 2 times heart. She was drinking only 500 ml all day. It's a blessing to drink water only is a blessing. So we are not gratitude for that also. You said now always we are comparing with others. Many people lose their life, especially I find more in my friends, more ladies are comparing. My friend's husband bought this one, why I don't have this sari, why I don't have this necklace, why I am like this, why she got like that. But if you think from morning to evening, so much this 39 years, what I lived, what God has done to me, if you think of that only, you'll be happy every day. For me, no, I always think what God has given me, what I don't have, I never think.
Absolutely. That's the best thing we can do to ourselves. And I'm so happy and proud of you, Mary, for following it. And
what I didn't get now, God thought maybe I should not give this to Mary. It's not good for me. That's why God didn't give to me. That in that way I'll think. But I always feel like God has kept me happy till this day. I'm smiling because there's so many people in my friends who are facing lot. They put their papers in courts because of the diverse thing. So much is happening. Recently, day before yesterday, also I went to lawyer because of my friend's divorce case. So in that way and all, God has kept me happy. So I'm smiling every day. I'm able to do my work with continuously. I'm doing my work. I have good health. God has not kept any in this. In that way, I'm happy. So I'm thinking God should keep me always happy like this. So when I see our people around me, they're suffering so much. Then I think about what is no, I don't have the suffering. No, why I should thank God every minute, every second of my life, because I'm a very spiritual person. Because for me, God is everything. In my free time, more than watching TV, I go for prayer meeting. Because of this pandemic, only this large crowd. No, I'm not going to. I'm attending. Otherwise, I'm a person. Weekends I give for prayer. This the 2 years has kept me home because of this pandemic. Otherwise, I'm a person very close to God.
Absolutely. God is everywhere. We can have him close wherever we are. It's just an attitude to pray. And whenever we are praying, when we express our gratitude, God gives us more chances, more opportunities to be grateful for. So absolutely well said. Lovely.
All the best, ma'am, and my best wishes for your professional and personal life. Always keep smiling like your clinic only. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mary. Thank you so much.
Take
Yes,
care, ma'am.
Shabnam, you raised your hand. Thank you so much.
Good evening, Vidya ma'am. As always, it's a pleasure listening to you, and beautiful smile and lot of good vibes. And I must also compliment Mary ma'am. Mary ma'am, it's it's always very welcoming and heartwarming to hear you share your personal experiences, your family, friends. Thank you. I mean, it takes a lot of courage and lot of open. Candid attitude to actually share this. I salute you for that also. Thank you. And Vidya ma'am, I mean, flawless as always. But I have a question. I mean, the ranking which India has, 139th vis-a-vis 149th countries. I don't know just a question, how do they actually collect data? India is such a diverse country. We have Northeast. I mean, because I'm talking because I'm presently in the Northeast, and it is a beautiful scenic place. And I mean, it's almost like Switzerland. It's actually like any other locale like New Zealand. I mean, because I've been to these two places as well, so I can actually say it is as beautiful as these places are. And people here are very contented. So I really do not know how is the data collected. And our country is also very spiritual. We are into spirituality, meditation. We have roots into yoga. I fail to understand. But my only and from what I gather is like what you said, Finland is and other countries are very close to nature. That does talk about their thing. And I mean, even economically well developed countries like maybe Japan and other countries, maybe where the I'm forgetting the word. There is this carpentered world. Yes, that carpentered world. I mean, they have high-rise buildings and everything, and still they are not very happy. And countries which are closer to nature, who have grounded themselves, are more contented with little what they have. So, I mean, if we can just share some views on this, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Shabnam, for those kind words. And definitely, as you said, see, what are those pointers, what people look in when they do such surveys? The first thing is, how contented the people are. Are they happy with the governance? Are they happy with people around? Are they getting good education, good water, good electricity? So, the basic facilities and, how is the entire GDP of growth? India is doing much better than what it was before. But however, it is individuals like us who actually bring up the entire quotient. So that is why I chose this topic, because I realized that, when we are celebrating our independence, we need to understand that happiness is within ourselves. And if we choose to be happy and we try to make people around us happy, I guess India will come up in the ranking too. So you have said in specificity of one particular area where Mother Nature is so beautiful. I'm sure there are many other places, even in India, where Mother Nature is very beautiful to look at. But are we preserving things as Indians? There is a lot of graffiti. I'm not sure if you have seen in all religious places, in all places of interest, or even when they are UNESCO heritage sites, you will see people just writing their names or put a love sign and, trying to vandalize the kind of area. So how good is our civic sense? Are we really very careful about throwing the garbage where it has to be? Are we conserving the mother nature as in the ground, the trees, so much of deforestation and all that happening? We need to understand it from the entire perspective of life. It is not just a few pointers. So these are the pointers which they say. And again, education. India is very good in education. I'm sure most of us are doing so well, not only here, but even abroad, right? And I don't know if you all saw the WhatsApp image that, CEOs of almost all companies are all Indians. And Indians, whether you take in any field, I think we are all excelling. So it is not those individuals we are talking about. We're talking about the country as a whole. And when we think about that in unity, there is something lacking. Probably we are so diverse that, we are not having that kind of a tolerance towards one another. So the best way is when you educate yourself and when you are more empathetic towards one another, when you will see probably, a better world. And all of us can make that difference. It's not that that is, again, as I told you, it's all from within us. So if we choose, I'm sure we'll make a difference. And that's very important. And when you asked, the other question was on how can we see this grading and what exactly happens at that. So the whole idea that Bhutan, as you said very clearly, they have a spiritual well-being and the material well-being too. And you gave, all these kind of developed countries where they have high-rise buildings. I'm sure there the stress levels will also be high-rise, right? And in our India, when you look at the spirituality or the religion, everything, of course, we have a lot of good things which is happening, not today. I can date back thousands of years before, where so much of pure land was there in India. And in fact, many people, even when you look at people, when they come for a retreat, they prefer India, because that ancientness, the kind of, oneness with God, I guess, that you would see in people coming to India and getting it. But how all of us in a everyday life, are we that? The answer is not yet. Probably we are. Our levels are less. We need to improve ourselves. So once all of us move towards a better version of ourselves, I guess, people will, we will be up in the charts soon. So I hope I answered your question, Shabnam. And thank you once again for attending and sharing.
Yes, very beautifully, Vidya ma'am. And I absolutely agree that we as we are a country we have diverse, landscape. I mean, we have mountains, desert, and every place is very beautiful. South, north, east, west, everything. And I think for that we need to take respect and each other and accept each other and more tolerance and empathy. And I also totally agree that we somewhere as a country lacks civic sense, which is extremely high in other countries. The facilities with respect to education, sanitation, and health is what is missing. But I guess the challenge, from what I fathom, is the population and the diverse nature of our country. So I absolutely agree. Also, and interestingly, this is very beautifully that you've prayed that actually people come for a retreat to our country. I mean, and if you actually CEOs of, Apple or Mark Zuckerberg, they talk about Indian gurus. And so that kind of a vibe. I mean, so we are really blessed, but we need to do a lot more. Thank you so very much. So patiently taking up questions and getting deep into it. And it's very beautiful, Ravinder sir, to have a beautiful discussion with like-minded people. Thank you for this platform. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shabnam. Thank you. And as you said, I love my India. Let me put it that way. And, I just love my country. I've accepted my country the way it is. I've been born here. I have lived my, major part of my life here in India. And I'm so proud to be called an Indian, right? And this pride, all of us need to have it, and not only on Jan 26th or August 15th. No, it should be there every single day of our life. We need to feel very proud of, our culture, our anything which tells us that we are an Indian. So I guess, the kind of tolerance we need to probably work on, and empathy towards people. Many a times we don't practice that. We speak about it, but we don't practice that. I think, when we have both of that, I'm sure we are going to make a much better world for all of us to live in. Any other questions? I saw a question on the chat box, so I'll take that right now. Mr. Jaiveer Singh has asked, ma'am, in today's Khushi, everyone used to rejoice together 10 years ago, and in today's Khushi, celebrating alone. I see a difference between people in the same family. How do you see it? So basically, a lot of times in yesteryears, we would have seen people sacrificing, giving in, the giving and taking, all of that was there in yesteryears. Today, as I told you, the tolerance is very less, and that is why it is me, mine. There's so much of control over things which is personal. So yes, when you think about happiness in today's world, people are very self-centered, or everything is for themselves. It's for me. That's how they look at it. But I guess we need to widen our horizon and think beyond us to get the best out of life. And when you think the entire world is mine, or everyone is a part of my family, I think the way you look at them will be a lot more different. And I always, practice one small thing. I look at people as a reflection of myself. So when you just look at somebody and love them unconditionally, you would see that they would love you unconditionally. If you praise people unconditionally, they would praise you back unconditionally. So it all starts with us. Like how I would say, hi, good evening. What's your name? My name is Vidya. When I say that, immediately the other person will say, oh, my name is so-and-so. So it always starts with us. It's the way we look at life. If I'm going to wear a green color spectacles and I'm seeing the world as green, that's how it's going to be. So always look into this world with a lot more empathy and with a lot more love. And I'm sure you're going to get that in abundance from the universe to you. So spread happiness, be happy, put a big smile, and be positive, be optimistic. Always don't crib and whine and criticize. I think we're going nowhere there. So when you work out on this aspect of life, I'm sure, life is so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for that wonderful question. And thank you for the reply. Thank you so much. Any other questions? I think I'll hand it over to Ravindran sir. Sir, over to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Wonderful session. And as already discussed, the determinants of happiness index, or for that matter, any ranking, has its own implications, because as we see, the cultural contexts are different, and political, socio-economical differences are there, and apart from that, the population also. Entire world population doesn't add to our population. So these are very small samples. Even we take it research statistically also, uh, they are not significant sample also when compared to population we have. So that is one of the factor that is significantly contributing to these ranking differences. Another aspect is the diversity, as you mentioned, rich diversity. No country has such a diversity here. You can see even in US we call so developed, but there is always this tussle between white and black. What if we have 10 more colors? The every second a war is will be seen in US, and it's going to happen for years together, centuries together. Imagine such a diversity in India, where the thousands of ethnic groups are there. And that is the greatness of India. In fact, many learned people also don't understand. They take example of some other country where no other place in this world has such a diversity. Even two groups like between white and black, they are not able to manage. And how they will manage thousands of ethnic groups together?
You can think about religion, you can think about language, you can think about cuisines, you can think about anything, dresses, even sari, even though we say sari is a dress, the ways of tying the same 6 yards of cloth varies from South India to North India, length and breadth of India. I guess, I don't know if you know this song. It says, Anekata mein ekata, ye Hind ki viseshita. So it's such a beautiful song, and it captures all the aspects of India, how beautiful and how vibrant and diverse we all are. So, even though we are all different, we are all one. So that's how that song goes. And if you've heard about it, then fine. Otherwise, August 15th is coming. I'm sure you will have these songs everywhere now.
Yeah, very well said, ma'am. That is what the beauty, we somehow, somewhere got in the wrong track of not appreciating or understanding these differences. I know even the learned people or the so-called educated people also got into the trap of maybe that false propaganda of criticizing. But, we need to understand the complexities of our country, our diversity. That is lacking. So somewhere, the kind of understanding people are having, or the kind of perspective, that itself makes us unhappy. The main reason for that is, we are not able to appreciate and do a proper comparative analysis. People say, even if you have to compare ourselves with others, we have to be on the same level. So that's where we are going wrong. When we are comparing with others also, either they are not at the same level, I mean above or low or below. And we are trying to compare and say, these are the differences. Then that is not the proper comparison that we are doing. So that
and
is
one
the
more thing, sir, is that, Indians by and large, we are not very good at maintaining data. So when, it becomes very difficult, even when we are doing statistical analysis, it becomes very difficult because we don't have the exact data. We have a wealth of knowledge, wealth of information, but we are not putting it down in paper properly. So, the documentation part is not as good as we can imagine in India. Even for a simple thing like, we have this power yoga, right? Do what we call Topakarnam, or, you just cross your hands and hold your ears and go up and down. It's sad to say that it was believed that it is a punishment in school. But when you look at the scientific understanding of even this simple exercise of just bending down and getting up, it was actually to activate your brain so that that dull child will be able to perform better. But, the kind of association it had, or the linking or the pairing it had, it said if anybody was doing that, it meant that, it was a punishment. However, it went to the West, and things changed, and people started calling it the power yoga, and now it's come back to India, and people are practicing it right now. I'm talking about any simple things, even yoga. It all originated here only, but then we didn't document things properly. And that is why it is served, they say, the old wine in a new bottle. So that's how it is served back to India. But I guess, instead of, again, complaining, if we can start working on things, I'm sure we have so much. And even the size of the country, if you look at it, India is so huge. The other countries, they can fit in even in the states of India. So looking at life, there's so much of work which all of us can do, and make our place, our house, our country, or our motherland so proud of each one of us.
Yeah, very well said, ma'am. That is, the perspective has to change. And we see a lot of Indians also, when we go to other countries, we strictly comply to the rules and regulations. But India, mein aaya, just you get out of airport and you are a different Indian altogether.
Because the law is very strict outside. It's a tooth for a tooth and an eye for an eye. So that's how they are. Penalty is so high. In India, they will say, okay, I have somebody whom I know, and then, it becomes difficult. So enforcement of the law is what is tough. That is everything, but then we need to follow. That's it.
Yeah, so it should start with ourselves. I mean, one's own understanding and compliance only will get together. At many times when we try to enforce laws, there is always this kind of resistance or this reaction from the public. And so that is what we need to change. Instead of saying that that country is strict. So here also we have so many laws and acts. If all are implemented, people cannot come outside, even cannot sit inside. So it's very strict laws, rules and regulations we have, but still we are very considerate, and we leave to the freedom of people so that they understand and follow it. But somehow the change should come from everyone, and if everyone follows, then it would be a great country. I mean, everything can happen in India. So only thing is, the change has to come from ourselves, and before criticizing or comparing, let's understand why this is happening here and why this is not happening here. Maybe that insights will definitely help us, and that should be the approach to understand, and definitely happiness will follow. Once you understand these differences and why this is happening, then definitely, we will stand first in the happiness index comparatively.
It will happen, and it's happening soon, sir. We are going to make the difference.
Yeah, ma'am. Definitely it's going to happen. Now things are unfolding. I mean, we are also main reason for our own knowledge. We are unaware, we are ignorant, and somewhere we lost our own knowledge. So we are slowly getting into that, and at least in this we can thank the Western world that they are helping us to recollect what we have lost and our generations are also slowly going on. Maybe, it's a kind of fusion music that is taking back to our this thing. And we need to do a lot of work, but again, that kind of approach they have is different. And in that also we are seeing like what is now sustainable development. Now, even a recent report, yesterday's report says that Arctic temperatures have gone to near zero. That means entire Arctic will be melting in next couple of years. And 8 meters of height sea level. You can imagine half of the world will be submerged in water. That is what we have
Global
done.
warming and deforestation has made it that way. So.
Yeah, so it's all because of human activity and our negligence and our abuse of natural resources. We thought, okay, we can do anything and nothing will happen to us. And see the kind of impact now, where we couldn't even see the land. Now it's Antarctica, and Arctica is entirely different. Now, if you can see, you won't believe that is a polar region. There is no glaciers, and all are melting at a very high rate. And, even the water resources are only those, just 1%. And if they get melted, even that 1%, 1.5% clean or pure water resources are also gone. Now see what we have done ourselves. So this is a kind of lack of understanding, or we were so taken for granted that okay, we thought nothing will happen, our planet will give, nature will give, but it is also having certain limitations. Beyond that, I mean, there is a saturation point where beyond that it cannot be restored. So we have come to that stage, and now the only choice left is leave nature to itself, so that it will restore. And slowly we have to reduce the consumption and emissions, and all these all reflect and impact the quality of life, well-being, happiness, and all are interlinked, interdependent.
We are learning it the hard way, sir, I guess,
Yeah.
How,
That's so. There is saying that बातों से नहीं मानता तो लातों से वैसा. It's a kind of thing. When we don't say listen to words, then we have to use stick on. So in a similar way, nature is using stick now to teach us lessons.
True.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Mary, and thank you, sir, for such a beautiful evening. And thank you for this opportunity to express my thoughts on this subject. Happiness, the way of life.
Thank you, ma'am. We wish you all the success on behalf of Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing. And look forward for more sessions, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. As per your convenience, you may stay back or leave back. We will share your certificate within a couple of days. And today we are also commemorating World Tiger Day or International Tiger Day or Global Tiger Day, whatever we call. I mean, it is synonymously used. So let's, I will give you quick facts, then we can conclude the session. So according to the World Life Fund, tiger populations are currently stable or increasing in India. And tiger reserves of India were set up in 1973 and are governed by the Project Tiger, which is administered by the National Tiger Conservation Authority. There are a total of 51 tiger reserves in India, according to the latest tiger census of 2018 and 19 conducted in India. 2,967 tigers live in this country. Tigers are found in our country, and 70 to 80% of the tigers of the world are found only in our country. That's why it's very important for us to conserve them. And not only that, these tigers protect the ecosystem, forest reserves, and also a lot of flora fauna in the forests. And it also helps in preventing or curbing the deforestation. And it also protects various species from poaching, hunting, and in various ways they are contributing to the preservation of ecosystems and natural habitats. That's why protection of these tigers are very important, and conservation is also very important. Now, let's briefly look into this kind of conservative measures that is being taken. Before that, let's quickly look into the message that has been given by our Minister for the Environment on the International Tiger Day. International Tiger Day is being celebrated today. The main aim behind this day is to promote global system for protecting the natural habitats of tigers and to raise awareness and support for tiger conservation. According to the World Life Fund, tiger populations are currently stable or increasing in India. The tiger reserves of India were set up in 1973 and are governed by Project Tiger, which is administered by the National Tiger Conservation Authority. There are a total of 51 tiger reserves in India. According to the latest tiger census of 2018-19 conducted in India, 2,967 tigers live in country. The population growth rate of the tiger is 6% per annum. India is home to 80% of tigers in the world. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has launched all those who are actively working to protect the tiger on International Tiger Day. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said that India has 52 tiger reserves covering 75,000 square kilometers. He said innovative measures are being undertaken to involve local communities in tiger protection. On International Tiger Day today, Minister for Environment, Forests and Climate Change, Bhupender Yadav has expressed happiness that through efforts made by the National Tiger Conservation Authority, in short NTCA, India almost doubled its tiger population in 2018-19 from 2014. He said over the years, tiger reserves have risen from 9 to 52. Mr. Yadav said, India has 2,967 tigers, which is 75% of their global population. He also called upon the people to pledge to keep the good work going by raising awareness about the conservation and protection of tigers. So, the beautiful, awesome, inspiring tiger is one of our planet's most iconic animals. But there's also the shocking truth. While tiger numbers dropped by more than 95% since the beginning of 20th century globally to coincide with the International Day, let's look into more about our planet's most iconic cats, the threats they face, and what you can do to help safeguard these species. There are only around 3,900 tigers in the wild. This Global Day Tiger Day or International Tiger Day, 29 July, we celebrate signs that tigers are beginning to make a comeback. What you can do? You can adopt a tiger, I mean in the conservation zoos or in the national parks, and wherever the conservation is taking place. Now, let's briefly look into the species of tiger. Tigers are endangered. As you know, we have seen in the discussion that yeah, they are just around 3,900 existing in this world. So they are affected by the illegal wildlife trade, human wildlife conflict, habitat loss and fragmentation, climate change. The beautiful inspiring tiger is one of our planet's most iconic animals, but there's the shocking truth. Wild tiger numbers dropped by more than 95% since the beginning of the 20th century. Now, for the first time in conservation history, their numbers are on the increase. Since 2010, we have been working to help double the number of tigers to over 6,000 by 2022. In recent years, conservation work and commitment of various governments has halted the decline in global tiger numbers. But there's a lot more work to do. So, Worldwide Fund is working closely with the governments and community groups across Asia, and our support is crucial as always to help protecting the wildcat. So, where do tigers live? Tigers can live in a wide variety of natural habitats, from forested habitats, grasslands and mangrove swamps to harsh, snowy forests of the Russian Far East. The tiger is the biggest species of cat on the planet. In Northeast Asia, they tend to be larger with longer hair, while tigers on the island of Sumatra, Indonesia, tend to be smaller and are found in tropical rainforests. India is home to more wild tigers than any other country, from the Terai Arc landscape in the north to the Western Ghats in the south. Although in the mainland, Southeast Asia, their numbers are in decline, are believed to be extinct in Cambodia, Laos, PDR, and Vietnam. Why tigers are so important, as already discussed, as top predators and umbrella species, tigers help to keep their environment healthy in the ways naturally work in the wild. The predators prey on other animals, in the case herbivores, plant eaters such as deer, but without enough tigers to eat them, herbivores can overgraze and damage the land, disrupting the balance of the local environment. Local people also depend on healthy environment for food, water, and lots of other resources. By helping protect tigers, we are also helping look after the places where they live, which is good for all the people and wildlife sharing that environment. Tigers and climate change. Climate change poses a growing threat to all, including tigers. Rising sea levels are threatening critical tiger habitat. Warming temperatures affect distribution of tree species, which can impact tiger prey species, and there is an increased danger to the tigers and tiger habitat of extreme weather events like flooding or forest fires. In addition, human habitat changes due to climate change can bring tigers close to human communities, leading to increased conflict and suffering for both humans and tigers. So, tigers are powerful, they are beautiful, they are perfect, and they can coexist with humans. So, tiger protects people are a key part of the efforts that have been seen wild tiger numbers begin to rise globally. And let's quickly look into the National Tiger Conservation Authority. It is a statutory authority to protect tiger so that compliance of its directives become legal and fostering accountability of center state in management of tiger reserves by providing a basis for MOU with states within our federal structure, providing for an oversight by parliament, addressing livelihood interest of local people in areas surrounding the tiger reserves. So the National Tiger Conservation Authority, in short NTCA, has been constituted under Section 38L1 of Wildlife Protection Act 1972. Further, as per the Section 38L, subsection 2 of the said Act, the authority consists of the minister in charge of the Ministry of Environment and Forests as chairperson and Minister of State in Ministry of Environment and Forests as vice chairperson and 3 members of parliament, secretary, Ministry of Environment and Forests and other members. The authority derives its power from section 38(0)(1) of Wildlife Protection Act 1972 and functions under the guidance of chairperson, vice chairperson and members. Presently, Cabinet Minister Sri Bhupender Yadavji, Honorable Minister for Environment, Forest, Climate Change, is the chairperson of NTCA. And Minister of the State, Sri Ashwini Kumar Chaubey, Honorable Minister of State for the Environment, Forest, Climate Change, and is the Vice President of NTCA. So, NTCA, as we have seen, has been fulfilling its mandate with the ambit of Wildlife Protection Act 1972 for strengthening tiger conservation in the country by retaining an oversight through advisories, normative guidelines based on the appraisal of tiger status, ongoing conservation initiatives and recommendation of specially constituted committees. The Project Tiger is a centrally sponsored scheme of Ministry of Environment, Forests and Climate Change, providing funding support to the tiger range states for in situ conservation of tigers in designated tiger reserves and has put the endangered tiger or as an assured path of recovery by saving it from extinction, as revealed by the recent findings of the All India Tiger Estimation using the refined methodology. So we have already seen the objectives of NTCA, and the current activities include providing central assistance to states under the ongoing centrally sponsored scheme of Project Tiger for tiger reserves for activities recurring as well as non-recurring, as reflected in the annual plan of operations of tiger reserves based on their tiger conservation plans is an important activity. This inter alia includes protection, habitat amelioration, day-to-day monitoring, eco-development for local people in buffer areas, voluntary relocation of people from core critical tiger habitats, and addressing human-wildlife conflicts within the ambit of Wildlife Protection Act 1972 and guidelines of Project Tiger, National Tiger Conservation Authority. The NTCA and Project Tiger also conducts the country-level assessment of the status of tiger, co-predators, prey, and habitat once in 4 years using the refined methodology as approved by the Tiger Task Force. Tiger protection and anti-poaching operations, the illegal demand for body parts and derivatives of tiger outside the country continues to be a serious threat to wild tigers. Therefore, protection is accorded topmost priority in Project Tiger NTCA. The states are engaged in an ongoing manner through the NTCA headquarters as well as its regional offices while issuing alerts, besides closely working with the CBI, Wildlife Crime Control Bureau, and the police departments. The following actions are taken in the context: alerting the states as and when required, transmitting backward-forward linkages of information relating to poachers, advising the states for combating forest floor to check snares and traps, performing supervisory field visits through the National Tiger Conservation Authority and its regional offices, providing assistance to states for anti-poaching operations, using information technology for improved surveillance, EI system using thermal cameras launched in corporate, launching tiger reserve level monitoring using camera trap to keep a photo ID database of individual tigers, preparing a national database of individual tiger photo captures to establish linkage with body parts seized as dead tigers or dead tigers, assisting states to refine protection oriented monitoring through monitoring system for tiger intensive protection and ecological system, in short known as M-Stripes, providing grants through NTCA for patrolling in tiger-rich sensitive forest areas other than outside tiger reserves, assisting states to deploy local workforce in a big way for protection to complement the efforts of field staff. In all, approximately 24 lakh man days are generally generated annually with 50% of central assistance amounting to rupees 24 crores, excluding matching 50% share given by the states under the Project Tiger. In case of northeastern states, the share is 90:10%, that is 90% central assistance and 10% matching share given by the states. Many local tribes constitute such local workforce besides non-tribals. Example, Baigas, Gonds in Madhya Pradesh, Gonds in Maharashtra, Chenchus in Andhra Pradesh, Sholingas in Karnataka, Gujars in Uttarakhand, and Irulas in Tamil Nadu, to name a few. The deployment of such local tribals has been fostered, encouraged in the last 2 years, supporting states for raising, arming, deploying the special tiger task force. And the important thrust areas include stepped up protection, networking surveillance, voluntary relocation of people from core critical tiger habitat to provide inviolate space for tiger, strengthening of protection, infrastructure and habitat management as per tiger conservation plans of tiger reserves, use of information technology in wildlife crime prevention, addressing human-wildlife conflicts, addressing the issue of resource dependency of local people through sustainable development options, captivity building of frontline personnel, developing a national repository of camera trap tiger photographs with IDs, active management for rescuing moving tigers from human-dominated landscape, conducting the next round of a country-level assessment of a tiger, co-predators, prey, besides habitat status monitoring, conducting the next round of independent management effectiveness evaluation, strengthening the regional offices of NTCA, declaring and consolidating new tiger reserves, fostering awareness of eliciting local public support, and fostering research. So due to concerned efforts under the Project Tiger, at present, India has a distinction of having the maximum number of tigers in the world at 2,967. It is a statistical range of 2,603 to 3,346 as per 2018 assessment. When compared to the other tiger range countries, tigers were observed to be increasing at a rate of 6% per annum in India when consistently sampled areas were compared from 2006 to 2018. So we have tiger reserves across India. In Karnataka, Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Assam, Maharashtra, Jharkhand, Rajasthan, Orissa, West Bengal, Kerala, Rajasthan, West Bengal, Chhattisgarh, Arunachal Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Bihar, Mizoram, Tamil Nadu, Odisha, Kerala, Telangana, and various other places. So total 52 tiger reserves are there. And tiger conservation plan as per 38B 3 of Wildlife Protection Act, the state government shall prepare a tiger conservation plan, including staff development and deployment plan for proper management of each area referred to in subsection, so as to ensure protection of tiger reserve and providing tiger reserve specific habitats inputs for maintaining a viable population of tigers, co-predators and prey animals. Ecologically compatible land uses in tiger reserves and areas linking one protected area with another protected area or tiger reserve for providing dispersal habitat and corridors. Forestry operations of regular forest divisions and divisions adjoining tiger reserves are not incompatible with the needs of tiger conservation. Out of 50 tiger reserves, the TCPs of following 35 tiger reserves have been approved by NTCA and rest are under preparation scrutiny. These are Bandipur, Karnataka, Corbett, Uttarakhand, Kanha, Madhya Pradesh, Melghat, Maharashtra, Simlipal, Orissa, Sundarban, West Bengal, Periyar, Kerala, Sariska, Rajasthan, Buksa, West Bengal, Namdafa, Arunachal Pradesh, Nagarjun Sagar, Andhra Pradesh, Dudhwa, Uttar Pradesh, Kalakkad, Mundanturai, Tamil Nadu, Valmiki, Bihar, Pench, Madhya Pradesh, Roba, Andhari, Maharashtra, Dampa, Mizoram, Bhadra, Karnataka, Pench, MH, Maharashtra, Pakke, Arunachal Pradesh, Nameri, Assam, Satpura, Madhya Pradesh, and Annamalai, Tamil Nadu, Udanti Sidandi, Chhattisgarh, Satkoshia, Odisha, Anchan Kumar, Chhattisgarh, Kali, Karnataka, Mudumalai, Tamil Nadu, Nagarhole, Karnataka, Parambikulam, Kerala, Sahyadri, Maharashtra, Bilgiri Ranganatha Temple, Karnataka, Kaval, Telangana, Hamrabad, Telangana, and Palamu, Jharkhand. And also, Tiger Conservation Foundation has been initiated, and tiger conservation, as discussed, is a collective responsibility between the state and centers, and warranting concerted, innovative and time-bound action. The Government of India has taken a number of milestone initiatives in this regard, and necessarily institutional changes have brought at this level, apart from revising the ongoing Project Tiger scheme and with enhanced allocation to assist the tiger states. As per the Section 38X of the Wildlife Protection Act 1972, the state government shall establish a tiger conservation foundation for tiger reserves within the state in order to facilitate and support the tiger reserve management for conservation of tiger and associated biodiversity, and also for taking eco-development initiatives through people participation in development process. The aim of the foundation shall be to facilitate and support the tiger reserve management for conservation of tiger and biodiversity through multi-stakeholder participation as per approved management plans, and to support similar initiatives in adjoining landscapes consistent with the national and state legislations. So the objectives of TCS would be to facilitate ecological, economical, social and cultural development in the tiger reserves, to promote ecotourism with the involvement of local stakeholders, communities, and provide support to safeguard the natural environment in tiger reserves, to facilitate the creation and or maintenance of such assets as may be necessary for fulfilling the above said objectives, to solicit technical, financial, social, legal, and other support required for the activities of the foundation for achieving the above said objectives, to augment and mobilize financial resources, including recycling of entry and such other fees received in a tiger reserve, to foster stakeholder development and ecotourism, to support research, environmental education, and training in above related fields. So the Conservation Foundation is managed through a governing body which gives overall policy guidance and the direction to the Tiger Conservation Foundation. The TCF will also have an executive committee to look after its day-to-day management, and the affairs of the foundation shall be administered subject to the rules of the foundation by the executive committee. The central government has framed National Tiger Conservation Authority Tiger Conservation Foundation Guidelines 2007 for the purpose of regulation of tiger conservation foundations. Present status is, out of 51 tiger reserves, the TCFs have been constituted for most of the tiger reserves except Kamlang, Orang, Pilipit, Rajaji, and Srivilliputturu Meghamalai Tiger Reserve. So now, if we look at the budget and expenditure details of centrally sponsored scheme Project Tiger for the period of 2016 to 17 to 2020 to 21, there has been decline in terms of expenditure, and in terms of budget there is an increase. When we look at the statistics in 2016 and 17, the budget was 370 crores and the expenditure was 348.74 crores. In 2017-18, the budget allocated was 345 crores and the expenditure was also 345 crores. 2018 and 19, the budget allocated was 350 crores and the expenditure was 323.44 crore. In 2019 and 20, the budget allocated was 282.57 crores and the expenditure was 282.53 crores. And in 2020 and 21, allotted budget was 195 crores and the expenditure is 194.5 crores. So maximum amount that was allocated to this scheme Project Tiger was successfully utilized. So let's hope our wildcats survive and against all the odds. And we wish you all happy Tigers Day and hope with our consolidated efforts we can conserve more tigers and this would increase that overall numbers tiger population in the world. So thank you everyone for joining us. Let's I will be sharing the feedback form. Quickly fill up the feedback form. Thank you everyone for joining us. Feedback form has been shared in the chat box. Quickly fill up the feedback form before you leave the webinar. We once again thank you all on behalf of Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing for joining us, and see you all tomorrow at the same time with a different topic. Take care. Good night.
A story of power, royalty, and majesty. The story of the mighty tiger. A powerful icon of India's cultural and natural heritage. This big cat is one of the largest predators in the world. It fascinates every eye it meets. WWF India has been working towards tiger conservation for 50 years. Our efforts focus on cohabiting with the tigers in peace and harmony. When we protect tigers, we save our precious forests and grasslands. And the presence of tigers in these forests is an indicator of the well-being of the ecosystem. Securing these big cats and their prey base in India's tiger landscapes will increase and stabilize their population. We have an on-ground presence in most of the tiger reserves of the country. It is not only about a majestic species, it's about ensuring our well-being is maintained as the forests we know provide ecological services like clean air, water, pollination, and temperature regulation. This Global Tiger Day, let us join hands to celebrate and protect tigers, our national pride.
Thank you all. See you tomorrow. Take care. Good night.